Success is not something you chase. It is something you attract by the person you become. Think about that for a moment. Most people spend their entire lives chasing success, chasing money, chasing respect, never realizing that success is not something you run after. It's something that comes to you when you become the kind of person who deserves it. You don't get success by wishing for it. You don't get ahead by talking about your dreams. You rise by developing yourself into someone success cannot ignore. Look around, and you'll see it everywhere. Some people struggle their whole lives, always stuck, always blaming circumstances, never moving forward. Then there are those who seem to attract success effortlessly. What's the difference? It's not luck. It's not intelligence. It's not connections. It's who they have become. The way they think, the way they act, the way they carry themselves, success follows them because they've built the habits, the mindset, the discipline that demands results. If you want more, you have to become more. You have to stop wishing and start working. You have to stop chasing and start attracting. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how to do that. Not theories, not empty motivation reel, actionable principles that will transform the way you think, the way you operate, and ultimately the results you get in life. Because the truth is, whether you realize it or not, you are already creating your future. The question is, are you shaping it with intention? Or are you letting life decide for you? If you're ready to take control, if you're ready to become the kind of person success cannot ignore, then let's begin. Number 1, win the war in your mind before you win in life. Win the war in your mind before you win in life. Because if you don't control what's happening up here, everything out there will control you. The distractions, the doubts, the fears, the opinions of others, these things will take over your life if you let them. And that's exactly why most people never reach their full potential. They don't lose in life because they're not smart enough or not talented enough. They lose because they let their thoughts work against them instead of for them. Every day you wake up with 2 choices. You can either take control of your mind, decide what kind of day you're going to have, and move closer to success. Or you can let your emotions, your habits, and outside influences run your life for you. Most people do the second one. They let their feelings decide how much effort they'll put in. They let their fears decide whether they take action or not. They let distractions eat away their time. And the worst part, they don't even realize they're doing it. If you want to win in life, if you want to be successful, if you want to attract the kind of life you dream about, then you need to start winning in your mind first. Because everything you do, every decision you make, every action you take, it all starts in your head. And if you can't get your mind to work for you instead of against you, you're going to spend your whole life feeling stuck. Think about it. How many times have you had a great idea, but talked yourself out of it? How many times have you wanted to try something new, but let doubt creep in? What if I fail? What will people think? Maybe I'm not good enough. That's the war in your mind. That's the battle between your potential and your fear, between your discipline and your excuses, between the person you are today and the person you could be if you just push through. And if you don't fight back, you'll lose before you even start. The truth is, success isn't just about working hard, it's about thinking right. You can grind for years, but if your mindset is weak, you will always hold yourself back. A weak mind makes excuses. A strong mind finds solutions. A weak mind gives up when things get hard. A strong mind keeps going. A weak mind looks for distractions. A strong mind stays focused. And here's the thing, you are in full control of which mind you develop. So how do you start winning the war in your mind? First, you need to stop feeding yourself negativity. Most people have no idea how damaging their self-talk is. They say things to themselves they would never say to someone they care about. I'm not smart enough. I'll never make it. What's the point in trying? They repeat these thoughts every single day, and then they wonder why they feel stuck. Your mind believes what you tell it. If you keep feeding it doubt, fear, and negativity, guess what? That's exactly what your life will reflect. Start controlling your thoughts. Replace doubt with belief. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, say I can learn and I can improve. Instead of saying, what if I fail, say, what if I succeed? Instead of saying, "It's too hard," say, "I'll figure it out." This isn't some fake positive thinking. This is training your mind to work for you instead of against you. The next thing you need to do is take control of your focus. Because whatever you focus on grows. If you focus on problems, you'll find more problems. If you focus on distractions, you'll never get anything done. But if you focus on solutions, you'll start finding answers. If you focus on growth, you will start improving. And if you focus on success, you will start seeing opportunities. It's all about training your mind to see the right things. But here's where most people fail. They expect their mindset to change overnight. That's not how it works. You've spent years thinking a certain way, so changing it will take time. That's why you have to make a daily habit out of it. You have to feed your mind the right things every single day. Read books that push you to grow. Listen to people who challenge you to think differently. Cut out negativity, whether it's from the news, social media, or toxic people. The more you control what goes into your mind, the stronger it gets. And here's another thing. You need to stop letting your emotions control you. A strong mindset isn't just about thinking positive. It's about doing what needs to be done, no matter how you feel. Most people only take action when they feel motivated. That's why they fail. Because motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. You have to train yourself to take action, even on the days you don't feel like it. Because if you only work when you're in the mood, you'll never get anywhere. This is what separates winners from losers. Winners push through even when they don't feel like it. They wake up early even when they're tired. They work hard even when they're not motivated. They stay focused even when distractions try to pull them away. And because they train their mind to be strong, they keep going long after everyone else has given up. And let's talk about failure, because this is where most people break down. They see failure as a stop sign instead of a lesson. The first time something doesn't work, they quit. The first time they get rejected, they give up. But failure is not the enemy. The way you respond to failure is what determines your success. Look at any successful person, and I guarantee they've failed more times than the average person has even tried. They didn't quit. They learned. They adjusted. They kept going. If you can train your mind to see failure as feedback, instead of failure as an excuse to stop, you will keep growing. And as you keep growing, success will come naturally. Now let's talk about your environment. Because if you surround yourself with weak-minded people, it will rub off on you. If you're always around complainers, guess what? You'll start complaining too. If you're around people who have no goals, you'll start lowering your own standards. But if you surround yourself with people who think big, who take action, who refuse to settle, that mindset will start rubbing off on you too. So take a good look at the people you spend the most time with. Are they helping you grow, or are they keeping you the same? If they're not pushing you to be better, it's time to make some changes. And finally, understand that winning the war in your mind is not a one-time thing. It's a lifelong battle. Every single day, you have to wake up and decide that you're going to think differently, that you're going to focus on what matters, that you're going to take action, no matter how you feel. Because once you master your mind, everything else follows. Success is not something you wait for, it's something you attract by becoming the kind of person who is ready for it. And that starts with winning the battle inside your own head. Number 2. Nobody respects a talker. Results earn respect. People respect results. That's just the way the world works. It doesn't matter how passionate you sound, how convincing your words are, or how many promises you make. If there's nothing to show for it, nobody takes you seriously. And deep down, you know that's true. You've seen it happen. The ones who are always talking about what they're going to do, the big plans, the ideas, the goals. But months or years later, nothing has changed. They're still talking, still making excuses, still explaining why things didn't work out. People might listen to you, but that doesn't mean they respect you. And if you really want to get somewhere in life, you need more than attention. You need respect. Respect is earned by what you do, not by what you say. If you want to be taken seriously, if you want people to listen when you speak, then you have to back it up with action. Because the truth is, words are cheap. Everyone talks. Everyone has ideas. But results, that's where the real difference is. The world doesn't reward intentions. It rewards execution. It doesn't matter how badly you want something. What matters is whether you're willing to put in the work to make it happen. And this is where most people fail. They get so caught up in talking about success that they forget to actually chase it. They tell everyone about their plans, their ambitions, their future. And that gives them a little hit of satisfaction, a little rush, like they've already accomplished something just by saying it out loud. But when it comes time to take real action, they hesitate. They find reasons to delay. They wait for the right moment. And before they know it, years have passed, and they're still in the same place. You have to understand something about human nature. The more you talk about something without doing it, the more your mind tricks you into believing you've already taken action. That's why so many people stay stuck. They've convinced themselves they're making progress just because they've talked about it so much. But the real test is simple. Look at the results. Have things actually changed? Have you moved forward? Have you built something real? If not, then the talking has done nothing for you. People don't respect talkers. They respect proof. They respect discipline. They respect those who say little and do more. You've probably noticed this yourself. When someone walks into a room and they don't have to say a word, yet people respect them immediately. Why? Because their reputation speaks for them. Their track record speaks for them. They don't need to convince anyone because their actions have already done the work. Think about the people you admire, the ones you truly look up to. Are they the loudest ones in the room, always talking about what they're going to do? Or are they the ones who stay focused, who work in silence, who let their results do the talking? The answer is obvious. Real winners don't waste time trying to impress people with words. They impress people with execution. So if you've been stuck in the cycle of talking more than you're doing, it's time to break it. It's time to stop explaining yourself. Stop announcing every goal, every move, every next step. Just get to work. Build something real. The people around you will notice on their own. When your life starts changing, when your results start speaking for themselves, people will pay attention, but not because you told them to, because they can't ignore what you've accomplished. There's another thing you need to understand. When you focus too much on talking, you drain the energy you need for execution. Every time you tell someone about your big plans, your brain gives you a small reward, like you've already done something. And that reward makes you feel good for a moment. But it steals your drive. You become addicted to the feeling of talking about success, instead of the feeling of earning it. That's a dangerous trap. And if you don't break out of it, you'll wake up years from now, realizing you spent more time pretending to be successful than actually becoming successful. So what should you do instead? Simple. Let your results speak for you. Focus on the work, not the words. Set goals, but don't announce them to the world. Prove them through action. If you want to get in shape, don't talk about it. Just show up at the gym every day until people start noticing. If you want to start a business, don't tell everyone your plans. Just start working, start building, and let your success introduce you. If you want to master a skill, don't brag about how much you're learning. Just put in the hours until your improvement is undeniable. This is what separates those who achieve from those who just dream. The achievers understand that real work happens behind the scenes, in the early mornings, in the late nights, when nobody is watching, and when they finally step into the spotlight, they don't need to explain anything, because the results are clear for everyone to see. And here's the best part. When you stop talking and start doing, you'll gain something even more valuable than respect. You'll gain self-respect, because deep down, you know when you're making excuses, you know when you're avoiding the work, you know when you're all talk and no action. And that feeling, that eats away at your confidence more than anything else. But when you actually follow through, when you set a goal and quietly work toward it every day, you start to trust yourself. You start to believe in your own discipline, your own ability to execute. You don't need validation from others, because you know you're moving forward. And that kind of confidence is unshakable. That's what gives you real power. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, do you want to be known as someone who talks about success, or someone who lives it? Because the world doesn't respect words, it respects proof. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you'll start making real progress. So stop telling people what you're going to do. Go out there and show them. Number 3, your time is your life. Stop wasting it. Every second that passes is a second you'll never get back. And if that doesn't shake you up a little, then you're not paying attention. Time is the most valuable thing you have. But most people treat it like it's unlimited. They waste it. They let it slip through their fingers. They trade it for distractions, meaningless conversations, mindless scrolling, and excuses. And then one day, they wake up and realize years have gone by, and they're still stuck in the same place, still making the same complaints, still wondering why life hasn't changed. But here's the truth. Life doesn't just change. You have to change it. You have to take control. You have to stop treating time like it's something you can afford to throw away because you can't. If you don't value your time, nobody else will. If you don't take it seriously, you'll keep losing it to things that don't matter. And at some point, you have to ask yourself, how much of my life am I willing to waste before I finally wake up? You see, every day you're given 24 hours. That's 1,440 minutes. That's 86,400 seconds. And what you do with those moments determines everything. You can spend them growing, learning, building something meaningful, or you can spend them on distractions, laziness, excuses, and the difference between those two choices. That's the difference between success and regret. That's the difference between living a life you're proud of and looking back, wondering where all the time went. Most people think they have more time than they do. They say, I'll do it later. I'll start tomorrow. I've got time. But what if you don't? What if the opportunity you have today is gone tomorrow? What if the time you're wasting now is the time you needed to change your life? Because once it's gone, it's gone. There are no refunds, no second chances. If you look at the people who achieve the most in life, you'll notice something. They don't waste time. They don't sit around waiting for motivation. They don't spend hours watching TV, scrolling social media, or making excuses. They use every moment they can to move forward. And that's why they win. That's why they succeed, while others stay stuck. Because success isn't about luck. It's about discipline. It's about understanding that time is your most powerful asset, and you have to protect it. The problem is, most people don't realize how much time they're wasting until it's too late. They say they don't have time to go to the gym, but they have time to watch hours of TV. They say they don't have time to build a business, but they spend their evenings scrolling through their phones. They say they don't have time to learn new skills, but they waste entire weekends doing nothing. It's not about not having time. It's about how you use the time you have. So let me ask you something. What if you started treating your time like it actually mattered? What if you stopped wasting it on things that don't move you forward? What if instead of making excuses, you started making progress? Imagine what your life would look like 6 months from now, a year from now, if you stopped letting distractions steal your future. Because that's what's happening. Every wasted hour is an hour stolen from your dreams. Every time you put off what you know you need to do, you're giving up a piece of your future. And here's the thing, you don't have to change everything overnight. You just have to start. You just have to become aware of where your time is going. You have to cut out the things that aren't serving you. Because right now, whether you realize it or not, your time is being spent somewhere. And if it's not being spent on building the life you want, then it's being wasted. Think about it like this. If you had a bank account and every day it gave you $86,400, but at the end of the day, whatever you didn't use was erased forever, how careful would you be with that money? You wouldn't waste it. You wouldn't throw it away on meaningless things. You'd invest it wisely. You'd make sure it was being used in a way that benefited you. But that's exactly what's happening with your time. Every single day you're given 86,400 seconds. And whatever you don't use wisely is gone forever. So what are you doing with your time? Are you investing it in things that will make your life better? Or are you letting it slip away, wasted on things that don't matter? Because the harsh truth is this. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to force you to use your time wisely. It's up to you. You are responsible for how your life turns out. And if you're not happy with where you are, the answer isn't to complain. The answer is to look at how you've been spending your time and make a change. Every second you waste is a second you'll never get back. Every moment you let slip away is a moment you could have used to move forward. And if you don't wake up now, if you don't start taking your time seriously, then one day you'll wake up and there won't be any more time left to change. So don't wait. Don't tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. Don't keep making the same excuses. Start now. Start valuing your time like your future depends on it, because it does. And if you do that, if you truly commit to making every second count, then I promise you, your life will never be the same. Number 4, you can't attract success with a weak mind. Success doesn't come to people who have weak minds. It just doesn't. Success demands strength, mental toughness, resilience, the ability to push forward even when everything around you is telling you to stop. And if your mind is weak, if you let every little challenge, every little setback break you down, then you'll never attract success. Because success isn't something that just lands in your lap. It's something you have to build yourself into the kind of person who deserves it, the kind of person who commands it. And that starts with your mind. The truth is, life will test you. It will throw obstacles in your way. It will challenge you. It will put you in situations that make you question everything. And if your mind isn't strong, if you crumble at the first sign of struggle, then success will always be out of reach. People talk about wanting to be successful, but what they don't realize is that success is a war, and that war is fought in your mind first. If you can't win there, you won't win anywhere, because success requires discipline. It requires focus. It requires the ability to push past doubt, past fear, past all the things that try to convince you to stay where you are. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because their mind isn't strong enough to handle the process. They let self-doubt creep in. They let fear take over. They listen to the people who tell them it's not possible. And instead of fighting for what they want, they give up. Not because they couldn't do it, but because they convinced themselves they couldn't. And that's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's mental toughness. A weak mind looks for shortcuts. A weak mind looks for the easy way out. A weak mind makes excuses. And if you let your mind stay weak, then don't expect success to come knocking at your door. It won't. Because success doesn't reward weakness. It rewards persistence. It rewards the people who train their minds to be strong, who don't let temporary setbacks become permanent failures, who refuse to let circumstances define them. If you want to be successful, you have to train your mind like you train your body. You have to exercise it, challenge it, push it beyond its limits. Because every time you push past what you thought was possible, you get stronger. Every time you refuse to let negativity control you, you get tougher. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you build the kind of mind that attracts success. People talk about motivation like it's the key to success, but motivation is temporary. Motivation fades. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation runs out. And discipline comes from a strong mind. When you develop that kind of mindset, when you stop making excuses, when you stop waiting for things to be easy, when you stop looking for someone to save you, and instead take full responsibility for your life, that's when everything changes. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they got there by being weak-minded? Do you think they gave up every time things got tough? No. They developed mental toughness. They trained themselves to push through when others quit. They learned how to control their thoughts, their emotions, their actions. And because of that, they attracted success. You can't expect to build a strong life with a weak mind. You can't expect to achieve big things if you let every little challenge break you. If you want success, you have to earn it. And you earn it by strengthening your mind, by building the kind of mindset that refuses to settle, refuses to quit, refuses to accept anything less than the best. So how do you do that? You start by taking control of your thoughts, because your thoughts shape your reality. If you think you're weak, you'll act weak. If you think you're capable, you'll act capable. Your mind believes whatever you tell it. So stop feeding it doubt. Stop feeding it fear. Stop letting negative thoughts control you. Start training yourself to think like a winner. Start surrounding yourself with people who push you to be better. Start eliminating the habits that make you weak. Procrastination, laziness, distractions. Because every time you choose weakness, you reinforce weakness. And every time you choose strength, you reinforce strength. There are no shortcuts. There is no easy way. You either train your mind to be strong, or you accept a life that is less than what you're capable of. And if you truly want success, then you have to make a choice. Right now, are you going to keep letting a weak mind hold you back? Or are you going to do the work, push through the discomfort, and build the kind of mindset that attracts success. The choice is yours. But remember this, success will never belong to the weak. It belongs to those who are strong enough to fight for it. Number 5, stop learning for motivation. Start learning for results. A lot of people spend their lives chasing motivation. They watch videos, read books, listen to speeches, just looking for that spark, that feeling, that rush of excitement that makes them believe they can do anything. And for a moment, they feel unstoppable. They feel like they can take on the world. But then what happens? A day goes by, a week goes by, that motivation fades, and suddenly, they're right back where they started, searching for the next boost of inspiration. They repeat the cycle over and over again, never making any real progress. The problem isn't that they're learning, it's that they're learning for the wrong reason. They're learning for motivation instead of learning for results. They get addicted to the feeling of inspiration, but never take action to create real change. And that's why so many people stay stuck. They know what they need to do, but they never do it. They've read all the books, they've listened to all the advice, but when it comes time to put in the work, they hesitate. They keep looking for another motivational push instead of just getting to work. Success doesn't come from feeling motivated. It comes from discipline. It comes from action. It comes from applying what you learn instead of just consuming it. The people who succeed aren't the ones who watch the most videos or read the most books. They're the ones who take what they learn and actually do something with it. They don't waste time waiting to feel inspired. They move, they act, they build momentum. And because of that, they get results. Think about it. How many times have you come across great advice, something that could truly change your life, but instead of acting on it, you just nod your head, feel motivated for a few minutes, and then go right back to your old habits? How many times have you told yourself, you'll start tomorrow, or next week, or once you feel ready? That's the trap. That's how people waste years of their lives, thinking, planning, feeling inspired, but never doing. The truth is, motivation is a temporary emotion. It's like a sugar rush. It feels good for a moment, but it doesn't last. And if you rely on motivation to take action, you'll always be inconsistent. Because what happens on the days when you don't feel motivated? What happens when life gets hard, when things don't go your way, when you don't have that excitement pushing you forward? Do you just stop? Do you give up? That's what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Successful people don't let their emotions dictate their actions. They do what needs to be done, whether they feel like it or not. They don't wait for motivation. They build habits that keep them moving forward, no matter what. If you want real success, you have to change your approach. You have to stop learning just to feel good. Stop chasing inspiration and start chasing execution. Every piece of knowledge you take in should have one goal: to produce a result. If you read a book, don't just highlight the best quotes and feel good about it. Take one thing from that book and apply it immediately. If you watch a video, don't just get excited about the message. Take one idea and implement it in your life. Make learning practical. Make it action-based. Because information without execution is useless. There are people who spend years consuming knowledge, but never move forward. They become experts in theory, but amateurs in practice. They know everything about success, but have nothing to show for it. Don't be one of those people. Be the person who takes action. Be the person who applies what they learn. Be the person who doesn't just talk about improvement, but actually improves. Every successful person you admire didn't get there by just watching videos or reading books. They got there by doing, by failing, by trying again, by pushing through resistance, by using what they learned to create something real. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They didn't wait until they felt inspired every day. They just got to work. And that's why they made it. The best way to stay motivated is to get results. Because nothing builds confidence like progress. Nothing keeps you moving forward like seeing real changes in your life. And the only way to get those results is by taking action. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop filling your mind with information you never use. Decide today that every new thing you learn will be put into practice. Decide that you will no longer be someone who just consumes inspiration. You will be someone who takes action, who builds, who creates, who transforms their life. The choice is simple. Keep chasing motivation and stay stuck, or shift your focus to execution and start seeing real progress. Success doesn't come to those who just feel inspired. It comes to those who do the work. Number 6, discipline will take you further than motivation ever will. People wait for motivation like it's some magical force that's going to come along and change their life. They think that one day they'll wake up feeling different, feeling ready, feeling excited, feeling like they can take on anything. And because of that, they sit around, waiting for that feeling to come. But here's the problem. Motivation is unreliable. It's inconsistent. It comes and goes like the wind. Some days you wake up and feel like you can take on the world. Other days you don't even feel like getting out of bed. And if you let that feeling control you, you'll never achieve anything worthwhile. Because success doesn't belong to the motivated. It belongs to the disciplined. Discipline is what separates the people who talk about success from the people who actually achieve it. It's what makes the difference between a dreamer and a doer. A motivated person starts strong but fades quickly. A disciplined person keeps going no matter how they feel. That's why discipline will always take you further than motivation ever will. Motivation is a feeling, but discipline is a decision, a choice, a commitment. And it's that commitment that determines who wins and who loses. Think about how many times you've been excited about a new goal. Maybe it was a fitness goal. You told yourself you were going to get in the best shape of your life. And for the first few days, you were on fire. You worked out. You ate right. You felt amazing. But then something happened. Maybe you got tired. Maybe you got busy. Maybe you just didn't feel like it anymore. And suddenly, all that excitement was gone. And without it, you stopped. That's how most people live. They do things when they feel like it, when it's easy, when it's convenient. But that's not how success works. The people who achieve their goals don't just show up on the days they feel good. They show up every day, no matter what. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. That's what makes it so powerful. It's not based on emotions. It's not based on circumstances. It's based on a choice, a standard you set for yourself. And when you build that discipline, when you learn to control your actions instead of letting your feelings control you, that's when you become unstoppable. Most people fail not because they aren't capable, but because they rely too much on motivation. They wait for the perfect mood, the perfect time, the perfect conditions. But those things rarely come, and because of that, they never build consistency. They're always starting over, always looking for another boost of inspiration, always waiting instead of doing. And they wonder why they never see results. Success isn't about getting it right every once in a while. It's about doing the right things consistently, over time. That's what discipline gives you. The ability to keep going, to keep pushing, to keep showing up, even when you don't want to. When you stop chasing motivation and start building discipline, everything changes. Because suddenly your results aren't tied to how you feel. They're tied to what you do. You stop being controlled by emotions and start being controlled by decisions. And that's when real growth happens. That's when you separate yourself from the people who start and quit, start and quit, start and quit. Because while they're waiting for motivation, you're already miles ahead doing the work, building the habits, creating the life you want. You have to make a decision. Do you want to be one of those people who only take action when they feel like it? Or do you want to be one of the few who take action no matter what? Because the truth is, the most successful people in the world don't always feel like working. They don't always feel inspired. They don't always feel like putting in the effort. But they do it anyway. They do it because they made a commitment to themselves. They do it because they understand that success isn't about how you feel. It's about what you do. There will be days when you don't feel like showing up. Days when you don't feel like putting in the effort. Days when everything in you is telling you to take it easy, to skip the work, to put it off until later. But those are the days that matter the most, because those are the days when discipline is built. Those are the days when you prove to yourself that you are serious about your goals. Those are the days that separate you from everyone else who quits the moment things get hard. If you want real success, stop depending on motivation. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop thinking that you need to feel good to take action. Make the decision right now that you will do what needs to be done, no matter what. That you will build the habits, put in the work, and stay committed. Even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when you don't feel like it. Because that's how you win. That's how you rise above the rest. At the end of the day, motivation is nice. It's exciting. It makes you feel good. But it won't take you where you want to go. The only thing that will do that is discipline. And that's something you have to build for yourself. No one can do it for you. No one can make you show up every day. No one can force you to put in the work. That's on you. That's your responsibility. And if you can master that, if you can master the ability to take action no matter how you feel, there is nothing you can't achieve. So forget motivation. Forget waiting for the right time, the right feeling, the right conditions. Make the choice today that you will be disciplined, that you will take control of your actions, that you will do what needs to be done every single day. Because in the end, that's the only thing that truly matters. Number 7, if you want more out of life, give more to life. Everybody wants more out of life. More success, more money, more happiness, more freedom. But here's the thing. Life doesn't give you more just because you want it. It doesn't reward you for simply wishing, hoping, or waiting. Life gives you exactly what you put into it. Nothing more, nothing less. If you want more out of life, you have to give more to life. You have to show up with more effort, more focus, more discipline. You have to be willing to do what others won't. Because the truth is, most people are sitting around waiting for life to hand them something. But life doesn't work that way. It doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you earn. You see, most people want more, but they're not willing to give more. They want more success, but they're not willing to work harder. They want more money, but they're not willing to develop better skills. They want more happiness, but they're not willing to change their mindset. And that's why they stay stuck. Because life isn't unfair. It's actually very simple. You get what you give. You want bigger results. You have to put in bigger effort. You want better opportunities. You have to bring more value. You want more freedom. You have to earn it. It's that simple. Think about any area of your life where you're not happy with the results. Maybe it's your finances. Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's your health. If you're not where you want to be, ask yourself, how much have you really given? Have you truly given your best? Have you gone all in? Have you pushed yourself beyond your comfort zone? Or have you been doing just enough to get by? Because that's the difference between those who win and those who don't. The ones who get more out of life are the ones who give more, who demand more from themselves, who refuse to settle for average effort and expect great results. Success isn't something you receive. It's something you attract by the person you become and the value you bring. The person who works harder, learns more, improves faster, that's the person who gets ahead. The person who goes beyond what's expected, who stays consistent, who refuses to give up, that's the person who sees massive results. But most people never do that. They want to do the bare minimum and still get extraordinary rewards. And that's why they live in frustration. Because they don't understand the universal law of life. What you put in is exactly what you get out. If you're not happy with where you are, it's not because life is against you. It's not because of bad luck. It's not because of circumstances. It's because life is responding to what you've given it. And if you want different results, you have to change your input. You have to give more, do more, be more. You have to outwork your old self, outgrow your old habits, outperform your past effort. You have to commit to more than just wanting a better life. You have to prove it with your actions. Every great success story is built on this principle. The athletes who dominate their sport, they didn't just wake up one day with world-class talent. They trained, they practiced, they sacrificed, they gave more to the game than anyone else. And that's why they got more out of it. The entrepreneurs who built multi-million-dollar businesses, They didn't just hope for success. They worked, they studied, they took risks, they pushed past failures, they gave more value, more energy, more commitment, and that's why life rewarded them. It's the same for you. The level of success, happiness, and fulfillment you experience is in direct proportion to what you give. A lot of people think they're giving their best effort, but they're really not. They think they're working hard, but they're actually just going through the motions. They think they're pushing themselves, but they're actually playing it safe. And that's why they stay in the same place year after year. Because life doesn't reward half effort. It doesn't reward the people who kind of want it. It rewards those who are willing to go all in, to put in more work than anyone else, to demand more from themselves every single day. The best part? You have full control over this. You don't need permission to give more. You don't need a perfect opportunity, the right timing, or external motivation. You just need a decision to raise your standards, to push yourself further, to stop settling for the life you have, and start working for the life you want. The moment you make that decision, everything changes. Because once you start giving more, life has no choice but to give you more in return. And this applies to every area of life. Want better relationships? Give more love, more understanding, more effort. Want better finances? Give more value, more skills, more discipline with your money. Want better health? Give more consistency, more effort, more commitment to your well-being. Every time you put in more, life gives you more back. It's a simple, powerful truth that most people ignore because they're too focused on what they're not getting instead of what they're not giving. If you want more out of life, the first step is to stop asking, why am I not getting what I want? And start asking, what more can I give? Can you work harder? Can you learn more? Can you improve your skills? Can you be more consistent? Can you show up earlier, stay later, go the extra mile? Because when you start living with that mindset, you stop feeling like a victim of life, and you start taking control of it. You realize that the power to change everything is in your hands. It's always been in your hands. Most people will never get this. They'll keep wishing for more while giving less. They'll keep complaining about life while refusing to do the hard work that real success requires. But that doesn't have to be you. You have a choice. You can decide right now that you're done with the old way of thinking, that from this moment forward, you will live by a new standard. A standard where you give more, work harder, push yourself further, and refuse to settle for average. Because when you do that, when you commit to being the kind of person who always gives more than they take, life will open doors you never imagined possible. So if you want more out of life, don't wait for it. Don't wish for it. Don't sit around hoping that one day things will magically change. Make the change yourself. Show up with more energy. Put in more effort. Be more disciplined. Be more consistent. And watch how life responds. Because it always does. The more you give, the more you get. That's the rule. And if you live by it, you'll never have to chase success again, because success will be chasing you.
Number 8, become a lifelong learner. The moment you stop learning, you start falling behind. Life doesn't wait for you to catch up. The world keeps moving, evolving, changing. And if you're not growing, you're getting left behind. Every single successful person understands this. Learning never stops. It's not something you do in school and then walk away from. It's a lifelong process, a commitment to constantly improving, expanding, and sharpening your mind. The second you think you know it all, you've already lost. The second you assume you don't need to learn anymore, you've put a ceiling on your own potential. Success isn't built on talent alone. It's built on knowledge, skills, and the ability to adapt. The people who win in life are the ones who never stop learning, who never stop looking for ways to get better, who see every experience, good or bad, as an opportunity to grow. They're not waiting for someone to teach them. They go out and find the information. They seek knowledge. They absorb it. And most importantly, they apply it. Because learning isn't just about collecting facts. It's about using what you learn to level up your life. Most people don't do this. They stop learning the moment they leave school. They think education ends with a diploma. They assume they already know enough. But look around. How many people are stuck in the same place? year after year, with no real progress. They blame the economy, their boss, their circumstances. But the real issue is that they stopped growing. They stopped expanding their knowledge. They stopped improving their skills. They stopped challenging their own thinking. And that's why they feel stuck. Because life rewards those who grow, not those who stand still. The world is moving faster than ever. Industries are changing, technology is evolving, and new opportunities are being created every single day. And if you're not learning, if you're not staying ahead, you're falling behind. The people who win are the ones who stay curious, who keep learning, who never settle. They read books, they listen to podcasts, they take courses, they surround themselves with smarter people. They invest in their mind because they know that's the greatest investment they can ever make. Money can come and go, but knowledge stays with you. Skills stay with you. The ability to think critically, to adapt, to solve problems. That's what separates those who succeed from those who don't. Learning isn't just about gaining knowledge. It's about changing who you are. Every time you learn something new, you upgrade yourself. You think differently. You see opportunities you never saw before. You start making better decisions, and better decisions lead to better results. If you're not where you want to be in life, ask yourself, how much are you really learning? How much are you really improving? If the answer is not much, then it's time to change that. Because if you're not learning, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying. The most successful people in the world have one thing in common. They never stop being students. They never stop asking questions. They never stop looking for ways to get better. They don't just learn when they feel like it. They make learning a part of their daily routine. They treat it like a necessity, not an option. And because of that, they stay ahead of the game. They see opportunities before others do. They make smarter moves. They make fewer mistakes, and they keep climbing while everyone else is standing still. You have to decide what kind of person you want to be. Do you want to be the person who remains stuck, doing the same things, expecting different results? Or do you want to be the person who's constantly evolving, constantly improving, constantly becoming better? The choice is yours, but understand this, your future success depends on your ability to keep learning. The opportunities you'll have, the money you'll make, the freedom you'll experience. It all comes down to how much you're willing to grow. A lot of people say they don't have time to learn. They're too busy. But the truth is, they don't make time. They have time for Netflix. They have time for social media. They have time for things that don't add any value to their life. But when it comes to learning, suddenly, they're too busy. That's an excuse. Because the people who truly want to grow, find a way. They listen to audiobooks while driving. They wake up earlier to read. They use their lunch breaks to watch educational videos. They replace entertainment with education. And over time, that small habit compounds into massive success. Your mind is your most powerful tool, but like any tool, it needs to be sharpened. If you neglect it, if you let it sit idle, it becomes dull, you become stagnant, and life starts to feel repetitive, unfulfilling, frustrating. But when you feed your mind with knowledge, when you expose yourself to new ideas, when you challenge yourself to keep growing, everything changes. Your confidence grows. Your opportunities expand. Your ability to handle challenges improves. Because the more you learn, the more valuable you become, not just to employers or clients, but to yourself. The best investment you'll ever make isn't in stocks, real estate, or business. It's in your mind. Because when you improve yourself, every other area of your life improves with you. When you learn how to manage money, your finances grow. When you learn how to communicate better, your relationships improve. When you learn how to stay disciplined, your productivity skyrockets. Everything in life gets better when you get better. And the only way to keep getting better is to keep learning. If you want to separate yourself from the average person, commit to being a lifelong learner. Make it a habit, a way of life. Read books, study successful people, take courses, seek out mentors. Challenge your own thinking. Never assume you know it all. Because the more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. And that's what keeps you hungry. That's what keeps you growing. That's what ensures that no matter what happens in life, you'll always be ahead, always be evolving, Always be prepared for whatever comes next. Most people will never do this. They'll stay stuck in their ways, relying on outdated knowledge, refusing to grow. But you don't have to be like them. You can choose to be different. You can choose to commit to growth, to expansion, to lifelong learning. And when you do, you'll experience a level of success, fulfillment, and freedom that most people will never know. Because in a world that's constantly changing, the only way to stay ahead is to keep learning, to keep growing, to never stop improving. That's the secret. That's the key. And if you live by it, there's nothing you can't achieve.
Number 9. Your actions are your true priorities, not your words. People talk a lot. They say they want success. They say they want change. They say they want to build a better life. But words are cheap. What truly matters is what you do. Your actions are the real proof of what you actually prioritize, not your promises, not your excuses, not your intentions, just your actions. Because no matter how much you talk about wanting something, if you're not consistently taking action toward it, then it's not a real priority in your life. It's just a wish, a fantasy, a passing thought. Look at your life right now. Look at how you spend your time, how you spend your energy, how you spend your money. That's where your real priorities are. You can say health is important to you, but if you keep skipping workouts and eating junk food, then your actions tell the truth. You can say you want to be successful, but if you're spending more time watching Netflix than working on your skills, then success isn't really your priority. You can say you want to be financially free, but if you're spending every paycheck on things you don't need, then your actions are proving otherwise. People love to fool themselves. They love to believe that their priorities are based on what they want to prioritize, not what they actually do. But life doesn't reward intentions. It doesn't reward wishful thinking. It rewards action. It rewards consistency. It rewards the people who prove what they truly want through their behavior, not just their words. If you want to know what your priorities actually are, don't look at what you say. Look at your daily habits. Look at where your effort goes. That will tell you the truth. This is why so many people stay stuck. They say they want change, but they're not willing to put in the work. They say they want success, but they only work hard when they feel like it. They say they want financial freedom, but they keep making the same bad decisions with their money. And then they wonder why nothing is changing. It's because their actions don't align with their words. They're waiting for success to come to them. They're waiting for motivation to hit. But that's not how it works. You don't get what you say you want. You get what you work for. You get what you prove through your actions. If something truly matters to you, you will make time for it. No excuses. No justifications. No waiting for the perfect moment. If you're serious about building the life you want, then you'll stop talking about it and start acting like it. You won't just say you want to be successful. You'll wake up early, stay up late, put in the extra hours, and do whatever it takes. You won't just say you want to be healthier. You'll exercise. You'll eat right. You'll make the hard choices. You won't just say you want to change your life. You'll start cutting out distractions, eliminating bad habits, and making real sacrifices. Because if it's truly important to you, your actions will show it. People waste so much time making excuses instead of making progress. They say they don't have time, but they waste hours scrolling through social media. They say they don't have money, but they spend it on things that bring them no real value. They say they're waiting for the right opportunity, but they never prepare for when the opportunity comes. If you're not where you want to be, it's not because life is unfair. It's not because of bad luck. It's because your actions have not matched your ambitions. And until they do, nothing will change. One of the biggest reasons people fail to reach their goals is that they confuse talking about something with actually doing it. They get a temporary high from saying they want success, from making plans, from telling people their dreams. But that feeling fades, and then they go right back to their old habits. Real change doesn't come from talking. It comes from doing, from being disciplined, from making small, consistent improvements every single day, even when you don't feel like it. Your future is being shaped right now, not by what you say you're going to do, but by what you actually do. Every decision you make today is leading you somewhere. Every action you take is either moving you closer to your goals or keeping you stuck exactly where you are. If you're not happy with where your life is heading,
then it's time to stop talking about change and start proving that you mean it. Because success isn't reserved for the people who want it. It's for the people who work for it. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Stop telling yourself, you'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes for those who wait. The only thing that matters is what you're doing right now. Your actions are shaping your destiny. Your habits are determining your success. And if your actions don't align with your dreams, then your dreams will never become reality. Most people never reach their full potential because they never break out of the cycle of saying what they want without ever proving it. But you don't have to be like most people. You can choose to be different. You can choose to be the person who doesn't just talk about success, but actually earns it. The person who doesn't just wish for a better life, but builds it through relentless action. The person who proves, every single day, that their priorities aren't just words. They're reflected in everything they do. Success is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Show up, do the work, be consistent, align your actions with your goals. And when you do, you'll realize that all the things you once thought were impossible are now within your reach. Not because you talked about them, but because you proved you were serious.
Number 10. You are already creating your future whether you realize it or not, every single day. Whether you realize it or not, every single day. Whether you realize it or not, you are building your future. Every thought, every decision, every action, it's all shaping the life you're going to live. Some people understand this early and take control of their path. Others drift through life, unaware that their habits, their choices, their mindset are all silently carving out their destiny. The truth is, there is no pause button on life. You are either moving forward or falling behind. You are either making decisions that bring you closer to the life you want, or allowing bad habits, procrastination, and excuses to dictate your future. And if you don't take control now, one day, you'll wake up and wonder how you got so far from the life you once dreamed of. Your future isn't something that magically happens one day. It's not something that arrives overnight. It's the result of thousands of small actions, repeated over time. The way you spend your mornings, the way you handle challenges, the way you use your time, these things are creating your reality. But the problem is, most people don't think about their future self. They live only for today. They waste time, thinking they have plenty of it. They make poor choices, thinking they won't have consequences. They put off their dreams, assuming they'll have more motivation later. And then years go by, and they realize they've been moving in the wrong direction all along. Success, happiness, fulfillment, none of these things happen by accident. They come from intention. They come from discipline. They come from understanding that your life is not something you wait for. It's something you build. And every moment you are laying another brick. The question is, are you building a foundation for something great? Or are you setting yourself up for regret? Most people don't fail in life because they made one big mistake. They fail because of the little things. The wasted hours, the lack of discipline, the comfort zone they refuse to leave. It's the choices you make when no one is watching that shape who you become. It's the decisions you make on a daily basis that separate those who achieve their dreams from those who stay stuck. It's easy to say you want success. It's easy to dream of a better life. But are you acting like someone who truly wants it? Are you making choices today that your future self will thank you for? Or are you setting yourself up for disappointment? It's time to take a hard look at your habits. It's time to be honest about where you're headed. Because the future isn't something that sneaks up on you. It's something you are actively creating right now. If you want to be successful, you need to start thinking like a successful person today. If you want to be healthier, you need to start making better choices now. If you want to be financially free, you need to start managing your money wisely immediately. Your actions today are either planting seeds for a great future or weeds that will choke your potential. Most people waste time waiting for the perfect moment to change. They wait for the right opportunity. They wait to feel ready. But waiting is just another form of fear. If you keep waiting, you'll stay exactly where you are. And one day you'll look back and realize that the only thing standing between you and the life you wanted was your own hesitation. The people who succeed in life aren't the ones who had perfect circumstances. They're the ones who decided to start before they were ready. They took action when others were making excuses.
They built their future while everyone else was wasting time. The reality is, the version of you 5 years from now will either be proud of the decisions you made today or regret them. You're either becoming stronger or weaker, smarter or more distracted, closer to your dreams or further away. And if you don't take control, life will make the choices for you. The world doesn't wait for you to be ready. Opportunities don't last forever. If you don't step up and take responsibility for where you're headed, you'll end up somewhere you never intended to be. It's not about making massive changes overnight. It's about taking small, consistent steps in the right direction. It's about doing the hard things even when you don't feel like it. It's about understanding that every single day you are writing the story of your life. And if you don't like where the story is going, it's time to take the pen back and start writing a different ending. Most people won't do this. Most people will continue to live on autopilot, letting distractions, bad habits, and fear control their lives. Most people will wake up years from now and wonder why they never reached their potential. But you don't have to be like most people. You can make the decision today to take control. You can start making choices that align with the future you actually want. You can stop waiting and start building. Because whether you realize it or not, the future is coming. And the question is, will it be the one you built with intention, or the one you settled for? The life you want is already yours. You just have to become the person who can claim it. Everything we talked about today comes down to one thing: who you are becoming. Success isn't a lucky break. It's not given to you because you wish for it. It shows up when you've done the work, when you've built the habits, the discipline, the mindset that makes success unavoidable. Look back at your life right now. Are your daily actions leading you toward the life you want, or are they keeping you stuck? Because every decision you make, every habit you keep, every excuse you let slide, it's all shaping your future. And the hard truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to do it for you. If you want success, if you want change, if you want more, then it's on you to step up. But here's the good news. You don't have to change everything overnight. You don't have to have it all figured out today. You just have to start one change, one habit, one decision at a time. Keep improving, keep learning, keep pushing yourself to be better. Because the moment you commit to becoming the kind of person success cannot ignore, that's the moment everything starts to shift. So take action now, not tomorrow, not next week. Now, because the future is being written with what you do today. Make sure it's a future worth living.